So we're just about to put our roof boards on, and occasionally you might see a bit of an edge lipping up on one of these. This one's very good, it's all pretty well perfect, but if you do, you'll need to bring a hand planer out and just plane up the edge and shave it a little bit, just carefully to try and get that as evenly as possible. We'll come back a little bit later to show you how to put the nut and washer on the storm rod. Now, we're heading into the roof boards, and it seems like the guys have got a little bit ahead of me, but we're going to show you how that's done. We start our roof boards from the outside edge and the very end of the cabin. You can start at the front or the back. Probably best to start from the back and work your way forward. Hand nails are provided with the cabin kit, but we prefer to use nail gun nails, and a C50 50mm nail gun nail is usually the best and easiest to use. Be sure to check underneath the roof lining to make sure no nails have come through. They are easier to pull out now than trying to pull them out later after the roof is on. It's a good idea too to make sure that your centre line here is nice and straight. Every now and then it can have a little bit of a bow, but just put a string line on it and make sure it's nice and straight. Once you get to the outside edge of the roofing, you'll be able to see if your roof is square or not. We can see here the edge is just about right in line with the roof beam, and up at the top is sticking out just a tiny bit, only about 2 mm. You need to cut off what's sticking out because you're going to cover that with a fascia. When we nail our roof boards on, we want to put 2 nails in each and every board on each and every roof beam. So put 2 nails on each and every board, but the board's up tight when you do it. When it comes to putting on your roof battens, generally you get 70 by 35 or 70 by 45, which is a little bit thicker. Normal building methods would have your roof batten sitting flat, and that's perfectly fine. We can do that too. And what you're going to do is get a square edge going off your front face and line it up so that's your edge of your timber, so that your roof batten does not stick out over the side here. So once we've got our roof batten positioned, then we're going to screw a 125mm batten screw straight down into the roof beam, straight underneath it like that. You're going to pre-drill it first and then put that guy in. So remember, don't go on that angle because you'll miss here. Go on that angle. Now that angle there is square, as are these ones. These are a bit thicker, which makes it easier to get your screw down into. What you can also do is stick your roof batten up on a vertical like this, which gives you more space to put your lights and your electrical wiring through, and a little bit more space for a cavity in a roof. The trick here then, of course, is trying to get this nice big screw down through on that angle. So this can be done, but once again, pre-drill and keep an eye out for what you're doing as you're drilling it in, and that will work. Now, when you do put your screws through, it's a good idea to come underneath your cabin and have a look up, just to make sure you haven't got screws sticking through here like this. Much easier to do before you get your roofing on. Pulling these guys out is much easier to do, and resurrecting before you put your roof on. Once your roof's on, if you've got metal sticking out like that, it's a real pain. So now when we put our roof battens on, it's a good idea to get a chalk line. We see that chalk line just there, and what we've done is we've gone up to the corner here. We've looked at where our roofing beam has come down, and we've marked on the top of the chalk line. So when we put our screw through, we know that we're going to get it in the right spot, and we want to put our roof battens on nice and straight. We're going to put one right on the outside edge out here, and you can spread them out a bit more than that if you want, but basically you're following the beams, following your string lines. And at the very top, it's slightly different. We'll show you that when we get to it. We're screwing in 125mm batten screws, starting 100mm from the outside edge. Here, 100mm, and going about every 900mm from then on. Simple as that. Now it's a good idea to notice where we've got here. What we've done is we've put the batten screw holding the batten down slightly off center so that it goes down the side of the beam underneath. The reason for that is when we put our roofing on, we can put our roof screws directly in the center of this timber. See here again, we've put the slightly off center, so our roofing screws slightly off center. We attach the center roof battens like so. Once again, 100mm from the outside edge, and then every 900mm from there on. Once you've done all the roof battens, be sure to come in underneath the cabin and look to see if there's any screws sticking through your roof beams, which you can see here. We've got a screw up there, another one here, and the rest is pretty good. It's best to go and pull those out now because it's very hard to take them out with a grinder or anything else. So go back up on top, pull those screws out right now, and then put them back through properly. We've got our roof battens on and our front fascia. You'll see we front fascia, we put it up flush with the edge of the roof battens. Be able to hold it over here, you'll be able to see what it looks like. And you screw the front fascias on. Now we've got our fascias and our roof battens on. It's time to put the electrical through. In the smaller cabins, you can go a bit cheaper and put the electricals inside and conduit just through the centre beam. But on these bigger cabins, if you want to go a little bit fancier, you end up putting your cables through like this, running them through the roof battens into a hole. We're doing downlights in this one, so we're going to put a hole on a downlight. It's a nice thin little downlight, and we're going to hardwire them. Usually we'd use thicker roof battens, but in this cabin we're using 35mm roof battens. Usually use 45mm, and what you're doing is running your wires across the top. This is the veranda section we're looking at now, and running them back this way. Generally, once the roofing boards and the roof battens and the roof boards are on, that's when you call your electrician to come and wire it up for you.